And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals here of the WardiTV Monday number 33. It's been an intense back and forth so far here tonight. And now we're down to two players. Two players remaining here, a Terran and a Protoss. Not your typical Terran and Protoss, though, that we'd expect to see in the finals. We have no Clem, we have no hero. Instead, we have MaxPax and ByuN. And let's go. Let's jump right on in. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5 grand finals into our TvP. Let's go. Let us go. As we get into this, there is of course a bit of history between these two players, and I'm curious, quickly just double checking here, we have seen ByuN take down MaxPax at times, as he does open up with the initial eBay block, so cheeky move here by ByuN, but for the most part heavily in favor of MaxPax. This year MaxPax is what, 77% in favor of winning here, but it was not too long ago. It was in Pegasaur Monday number 26 where ByuN did bring MaxPax down in a best of 3. Of course, that is a shorter series, and it's also Pegasaur Monday, so that's typically when players are sleep deprived more than anything. Whether or not they're in their element in that moment, it's up to the players, I suppose, up to interpretation. I'm sure, I mean, they're both D-gens, so I'm sure they like it. That's what I'm getting at. They like it. Happy they like it. But in general, MaxPax is coming as a heavy favorite. We'll see if ByuN can cause that upset. Likewise, I should also emphasize that most likely this is not the first, or no, I should say not the last we're going to be seeing of them here tonight, as of course we have the Monday night weeklies after this and the Big Star Monday thereafter. And I bring that up just because both ByuN and MaxPax are two of the players that do stay up and play in all 3 of those tournaments. Typically it's ByuN, MaxPax, Solar, Hero, Clem, Wayne, Geralt, Nickeract. The players that I just mentioned are usually the regulars that do pull all-nighters and play in all 3 tournaments. Oh boy. So this is going to be the beginning here of that night to remember. We'll see how often they do play. For now, Twilight Council open out of MaxPax. As the night is still young, this is all our first tournament of the day for these players. Likewise, going for a Rax expand. Oh, sorry, I should say Rax into factory into CC. Likewise, MaxPax forces take the unnatural natural. So far, a successful opener here out of ByuN, just making MaxPax that much more uncomfortable. And we'll see if ByuN can capitalize on that. We'll see if he can abuse this position and abuse this location. We'll see. Hydration check, people. Drink him if you got him. If you don't got him, get him. There you go, there you go. Remember, hydrate all of your hydras. True. As we have extra gateways on the way, so we have a 3 gates blink set up here at a MaxPax. Getting up to 3 gate blink. Now, we've already featured MaxPax quite a bit tonight in Protoss vs Terran against Cure, and in said matchup, we did see some very safe builds. I think time and time again, both games actually, MaxPax, he did delays third base, going for a faster gases at the natural, going for a faster robo into Forge, on 2 bases into a later expansion. We'll see if MaxPax does that again. He's done it twice so far against Cure. Has yet to fully embrace that here against ByuN. Ooh, early immortal production though, very okay. Speaking of safe play, does go for the early immortal. ByuN, he does rally early on across the map. The Marines have arrived. Cyclone getting a lock on off. Shield battery in position. So far, not a single stalker goes down. So far, MaxPax, he's holding. MaxPax, he's holding on. He's taking his gases. The immortal's almost out. And ByuN, his aggression has failed. He will back off. This is quite committed here out of ByuN. Behind this, going back into his own tank production, getting his own 3-1-1 setup. Later, command center. And MaxPax holds. And again, on 2 bases, going for the Bay, going for Colossus. So very safe play here by MaxPax. Very safe. I mean, for good reason. Likewise, yep, forged before expansion. Stalkers, they poke in, they're going to be forced back. MaxPax, he has no way to threaten the main base of ByuN. Again, we've seen this build time and time again from MaxPax. Just very safe play here, getting into the third base and building up towards a stronger mid-game with an earlier Colossus army. So MaxPax, he is getting there. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's secure in 2 bases. Again, MaxPax, he can't really threaten ByuN. Stim is on the way, combat shields, or sorry, Stim +1 into eventually combat shields. So ByuN is pinned back. MaxPax now going to be reinforcing with his charge lots. Charge is on the way, +1 alongside it. ByuN tries to break out. He scans at a time. Does see the first Colossus. Second Colossus halfway done. And ByuN, can he break MaxPax ahead of time? That I'm not so sure of. He's going for it though. ByuN setting up on top of the high ground. Does set up. Doesn't quite move in. Third CC on location for ByuN. Again, just being hyper assertive here, hyper aggressive. Hoping to catch MaxPax out in the open. But ByuN, he shouldn't push in, and he won't. Okay, does back off. Again, just hoping to catch MaxPax wandering in. MaxPax, though, playing it safe. Checks with the hallucination. And the game will continue. Game does continue from here. I would say that MaxPax, he will have a big power spike soon. We're waiting for him to build up the 3 Colossus. And he's there. He's already there. Now has his triple Colossus. Temple Archives on the way for a Storm. And now with 3 Colossus, MaxPax, he can start being active. He can start moving out. And he can start to potentially threaten the third base of ByuN. Waiting for the War Prism. 4th expansion on the way. And here comes the move out. Here comes the main army. Back at home, ByuN, he does have a siege line. Has his tanks, no bunker. Limited Sim City. MaxPax getting ready for his own run by. As ByuN, he spots the army. Does spot the army. MaxPax threatening a dive, pushing further in though. And this should just be a distraction. I say that first Colossus is under fire. MaxPax, he has to be careful. Now pulling away. There's that Zealot run by. At the same time, MaxPax distracted. Liberator does take down the Stalkers. Zealots run into the main army. ByuN, he's holding, he's defending. He's holding on. Does defend. We'll get 1 Colossus. Colossus goes down. Stims in, catching up more of the army. And MaxPax is bleeding out far too much. 3 probes go down. Stalkers, the run by does nothing. ByuN, he holds well. Does hold well. And ByuN has momentum. He's in a better position. Again, MaxPax, he did overextend. We actually saw something similar, if you remember, against Cure. It was in game 2, if I recall correctly. It was game 2 on ley lines when MaxPax, he overextended into Cure. MaxPax, he lost all of his Colossus, and then Cure almost snowballed into a win. It was very close. That almost happened here. This time, though, MaxPax, he only lost 1 Colossus, not all 3. So still has an army to work with. But ByuN, he has gained map control. He has stripped it away from MaxPax. EMPs are available. Oh! Doesn't quite go for it though. Here we go, reinforcements have arrived. Mass Viking bullying those Colossus. EMPs, they pop up, and the Colossus, they are going to go down one after the other. But is there enough bio left over? As the final Colossus will fall. More Marauders rallying in. It's still so close. Again, he does take down all the Colossus. Nova doesn't connect. But ByuN doesn't have enough. He does not have enough. He has to back off. He retreats. MaxPax holds. He holds on to the third. The fourth is fully saturated, and the fifth is on the way. So a clutch hold here from MaxPax. And once these bases get saturated, he can be the one with map control instead. But now MaxPax is stuck at home. Likewise, ByuN pulls back and going for the gold. The gold is a good way for ByuN to maintain momentum. Second robe is on the way. ByuN, he rotates. MaxPax, he spots the rotation. He is aware. MaxPax just getting in position. Likewise, setting up his own Zealot flank as well. ByuN spots the army, pulls away, getting to 2-2, building up his Raxes, taking advantage of the gold base, of course. Getting it saturated. Seeing him up. Ooh, as matches are going up. Brutal connections. Two pop off, and both armies are maxing out. MaxPax collapsing on this bio. Oh, at least trying to. Dives in, does get a ghost. Nice pick up here from MaxPax, takes down the ghost, pulls away. Second starport's in production for Mass Viking production into eventually Liberators. ByuN is getting there. As he's only on 6 Vikings. And you can see how subtly the kind of tone has shifted here. MaxPax now with map control, he denies mining at the gold. So I'll say, do dive on top of the ghost. Yeah, ghost gets surrounded, massive pickup. Nova goes up, zones the army away, and MaxPax, he dominates this fight. Vikings, they get one Colossus, but they all go down, and ByuN's in trouble here. ByuN losing every Viking and losing most of his ghosts. Base is denied, and MaxPax is remaxing. He's just remaxing instantly here. Again, I'm afraid to look. That was how many? 10. That was, yeah, that was 10 ghosts going down. ByuN trying to sim in. Gets off 2 EMPs. EMPs on the Stalkers, but on nothing else. Nova goes up. Mainly zones. And zones the army away. Another Nova will connect. Oof. On the Marauders. And he's done it. MaxPax, he is done it. He is broken. ByuN. GG gets called. And MaxPax, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax, he will take a lead in the series. Again, it was a very tense, very brutal moment here. It was a back and forth, I should say, initially, but both armies maxed out, and ByuN, he got caught with his pants down in the center of the map. It did happen slightly off screen towards the top left, so I do apologize for not really focusing the camera on that. But basically, ByuN, his ghost got caught. His ghost, they got surrounded by a flanking group of Zealots and Colossus, and once those ghosts got surrounded, that was game. That was game then and there. The army just crumbled before MaxPax. That was just before MaxPax took over the gold mineral line. That's what it led into. And from there, ByuN just could not keep up. As he lost his army and he lost his economy. Just everything just caught fire towards the end. All at the same time. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax, he does take the first game, and we'll see if he can extend this lead or if ByuN can recover. The hair's the hair was getting rowdy, Pop. It was getting rowdy. Oh no. Oh no. It's also getting hot as well. But yes. Did have a haircut just before the broadcast. Just before. Here we go. We're getting to our next game. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Killer's Mile. We have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. It is ByuN. A little bit old growth forest before that. I mean, it wasn't bad. Like I think I've grown my hair out longer than that before, but it was just getting a little bit too much. Especially because of the amount of hours that we cast, like with the headset as well. Like the head heats up, you know. Got to keep it fresh. Gotta maintain myself. You know, be well groomed. Look after yourself, Happy. Look after yourself. Here we go. Here we go. We go for the other eBay block. This time there's a pylon on the low ground. We spoke about this game. Was it game 2 of MaxPax versus Cure, where Cure, he attempted the eBay block, but this time MaxPax, instead of the high ground setup here on top of the Reaper Cliff, he has the low ground pylon, so an earlier scout and a quicker response. Last game, MaxPax was forced to take the unnatural natural. This time he shuts this down, and MaxPax can freely expand. And there it is, the natural on location. So the natural here by MaxPax. Again, a very fortunate opening for him. The downside, of course, is that he has no SimCity to wall off the top of the entrance to the main base. And behind this, ByuN going for his racks into Command Center, economic opener out of ByuN. Let's go. The game will continue. I would say MaxPax in a better position. I understand the hair being too hot all too well. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Pappy, for sure. ByuN does dip in between the bases. So far, Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax, further back behind the main. ByuN trying to avoid that soul. Oh, good. Does avoid. Heads for the natural. The Jukes. Oh. And you will get one probe, not bad. One worker goes down. KDA charge here on the ramp. And ByuN, he will scout the tech. He will spot the Twilight Council. At the same time, across the map, the Adept will get eyes on the setup. Does get eyes on the CC. Is aware. Is aware of what's going on. Reaper did get shut down. And MaxPax, at least he's aware of the timing of the command center, the factory. And I believe he did see the initial Widow Mine as well. So we have a mine drop opener here by ByuN. Setting up for the drop. Something that's very standard, but something that we haven't actually seen yet today. As Cure, he didn't play with drops at all. Now ByuN catching at the Adept, not bad. Setting up for his mine drop. Widow Mines get sent out. MaxPax kiting back. Behind this, I believe, on a 3-gate setup. Okay, there we go. 2 gates in the main, 1 gate at the natural, so 3-gate blink out of MaxPax. Again, he has gone 3-gate blink every game so far in this broadcast of TvPs. And he's usually gone for faster gases as well. Like time and time again, it's just been the 3-gate blink into Robo, into Bay, into Forge before expanding. I mean, it's been working. It's just really safe. A very safe play here at a MaxPax. There it is. Gases are on the way. This screams ByuN Forge before the 3rd expansion. For whatever reason, MaxPax is quite fond of this here tonight. Quite fond of it. As I mentioned, yep, there's the Bay, there's the Forge, then it's expansion time. So, same build of 4 games in a row. 4 games. 2 games against ByuN and 2 games against Cure. Oh. Medevac does boost in. MaxPax in position. He will catch the Medevac. Medevac goes down. Oh! Matchup going up. Nice blinks. Gets 1, gets 2 probes. Clean defense here by MaxPax. Shuts down the Widow Mines. Colossus production on the horizon. And ByuN back at home, setting up as well. Going into his own 3-1-1. Building up his bio army, building up his tanks, going for an earlier push, which is spotted by the Observer. So MaxPax, he sees the move out. Is getting ready. Ideally, he wants to slow this down, pick off some Marines, force an early stim. Before he gets across the map. For now distracted by the Raven. Uh-oh. He's distracted. Bleeds out a Stalker. That should not have happened. 3 probes go down. Tank does siege. And MaxPax will take a tank volley to the face. Does take a volley. Another auto shot. 5 probe kills. Not bad. Getting up to 6. 6 workers go down. ByuN once again with the early siege. He's hoping to try to catch the army out, and he will. Yeah, tank volley's going up. He gets 1. He gets up 2. 2 Stalkers go down, getting 3. And ByuN is going for the Colossus. 1 more volley. Barely does get it. The Colossus is so very low, but the Colossus does survive. Whew. And MaxPax holds. MaxPax, he does holding, and the Colossus barely standing. 1 more volley. That's all he needed. But ByuN has no more pushing power here. He's down to barely any Marines. The tanks are still alive, true. But at this point, he has no pushing power, and yeah, he backs off. He backs off, he retreats. At least he does retain the tanks, and he can always use them later on. Could have been worse. As MaxPax does catch some more reinforcements. ByuN getting his 3rd CC on location. It's almost winter in chat. It's true, true. It is. It is. We're getting there. It's okay. My hair grows fast. I'll get it back in time. Don't worry, don't worry. ByuN dropping into the natural. It does drop in. MaxPax not quite in position. Oh, going for the Forge. And it looks like he will barely deny +1. Massive pickup. +1 is denied. Oh. And the drop stay will barely escape. To get away. Some of the bio army does go down. MaxPax does hold. Oh, catching out one of the medevacs, catching out both medevacs, but for a price. Leaving out a lot of Stalkers, expensive losses here for MaxPax. Behind this, claiming his 4th base. Do you have a back and forth? But MaxPax, he has some catching up to do here. Again, losing that Forge was brutal. As he has to restart +1. ByuN back at home, content just to defend. Setting up. We have the tank line, we have the bunkers, the depots. He's ready for the push. MaxPax dropping into the main. Observer gets sniped. Observer gets sniped. Really, this is just a distraction. MaxPax does keep the attention here at the 3rd, and he does get into the main. Slips in, going for the mineral line. But ByuN, he's in position. He will defend. MaxPax rotating over towards the natural. And he does potentially get a gas geyser. Oof. Not much more than that, though. And 2 SCVs. Just 2 SCVs. Pulls away. Building on more Colossus. And likewise, ByuN building on more Vikings. Yeah, Vikings are amassing. Ghost Academy is on the way. Wouldn't really expect ByuN to move out without Ghosts. Likewise, MaxPax just poking wherever he can. Still building up. Getting it to proper 4-base saturation. Storm is on the way. Second starport for ByuN. Both players just gearing up towards the mid-game. Second starport is going to be for more Vikings and eventually into Liberators. Likewise, as we head towards a higher Viking count, that's when Storm becomes that much more important. As MaxPax, he attempts to diversify his splash damage. He doesn't want to rely purely on those Colossus. He needs Storm, and likewise Disruptors as well. Yeah, being active. Get spotted. MaxPax poking in. Oh. Chipping away at the army. No major losses. Second Robo's on the way. That's going to be for double Colossus, sorry, double Disruptor production. He's getting there. That needs a little bit more time. Likewise, so does ByuN. ByuN now to 8 Vikings. 4 ghosts at a time. Does need those ghosts. As the ghosts are popping out, Disruptors also on the way as well. As we are building up towards the mid game. The game hasn't necessarily been passive. A lot of posturing, a lot of poking. But no major commitments. And not yet. Fusion Core is on the way. That is going to be for Liberator range. Unfortunately not for BCs, at least not yet. MaxPax making his way towards the natural. Turret's in position. Prism goes down. MaxPax pushing throughout the left-hand side. Oh, doesn't break through. Tanks are in position. ByuN is holding. Going for the EMPs. Nice connection. And with that, the first Colossus does go down. Zealous melt. Storm will zone away, but that's going to be 2 Colossus falling. Another Storm of the Ghosts. The Ghosts are exposed. Yeah, the Ghosts are the first to go down. The Ghosts and the Vikings, but they do their job. Yeah, Max actually gets caught. He plummets in supply. Everything gets caught out. Escaping with only 4 Stalkers. The High Templar, the Archons, the Colossus. Everything went down. And here comes ByuN. ByuN is moving. Oh my god. ByuN is moving in. We'll take a Storm to the face. Nice snipes. Nice snipe on the High Templar. Another Storm does zone. MaxPax just buying time for Disruptors. But upon losing that army, he doesn't have an instance of Liberators. As Liberation range is on the way. Likewise, does take down 1 High Templar. Base is under threat. Disruptors have arrived. First Nova goes up. Raising the army. Clips all those Marauders. Flanking Storm coming in. Not bad. Oh! Oh no. Max actually pulls away. And pulls away at the wrong moment. No major connection. Likewise collapsing in. Up! And he will barely not connect, but the Storms will. Yeah, Storms time and time again, they shut down the ByuN. It's not the Disruptors, it's the High Templar instead. Yeah, clips one of those ghosts. And Max actually is holding. He's holding on. Still doesn't have the best answer to these Liberators, but he has an answer. Just blinking forward. Going for the dive. Nova goes off. Brutal connection. And ByuN, he's being broken. Look at the army blinks past, takes down the liberators, and MaxPax holds. Whew, he does hold on, he does maintain the army, he does maintain the economy, more importantly. And ByuN has to retreat. Has to pull away, building up more liberators. MaxPax, he has no Skytoss set up yet, just purely a ground army. MaxPax this time he does go for the tank. Tank goes down. Sensor tower as well. Ooh. Some of these snipes are brutal. Catching at the army. MaxPax, he's remaxed. He's maxed out once again. Piling out more Colossus. He's on 4. Still not the best answer here for these liberators. Still not ideal. He's working on it. Especially if he wants to be more aggressive. He just refuses to go into a Skytoss. Refuses to stack up. ByuN is turtling though. Yeah, it does siege up the ramp. Stems in, takes down a Colossus, big overextension. MaxPax, he rotates, still laying siege upon that mineral line. The raid's not quite there yet. MaxPax moving in once again outside of range of those libs. Takes down some of those ghosts. So very close. MaxPax is setting up for those Dark Templar. We have Shadow Stride on the way. Oh, does catch one. Gets 2. 2 Liberators, not bad. Takes down 2 Liberators. More Chargers diving in. Oh. Stalkers, geez, they take a lot of hits, a lot of damage. Oh, and the Stalkers, they get punished. So many Stalkers go down. The Storm is helping. Massive Nova. Oh my god, takes down most of the ghosts. And Max actually the better trade. He may lose all the Colossus. He does stand his ground. It does maintain this position. We have 2 more Colossus on the way. He's still committing. He's still refusing to take up into Skytoss. Just committed to the ground. He's afraid of heights, Patty. I don't blame him. No Skytoss. Does rotate. Gets one of those libs. Gets one of those Liberators. We have 4 more Liberators on the way. Stealthing again, takes down that final Liberator for now. Takes down 1, but 3 more rise up to take its place. Still moving in. Still just walling off that ramp. Now, what's important about what's been happening here as these skirmishes and these trades just have not stopped is that MaxPax has been mass expanding. Taking the northern base, the base on the bottom right hand side as well. MaxPax is on 94 probes. Oh, brutal EMP. Brutal EMP. As here comes the Stargate. That should be for Skytoss. Again, it looks like MaxPax has now recognized what's been going on, but this does feel like a late realization from MaxPax to get ready for Skytoss. Brutal miss rally. Oh, liberation range, looking dominant. MaxPax rotating around. Oh, we're gonna move in. Takes on 1 Liberator. Alas, there's no more storms with this. Down to 1 Colossus. Yeah, very shaky trade here from the Protoss. Full energy high tablet goes down. Sex moving in. Bouncing on some of those ghosts. Ghosts going to be going down. More Zealots coming in to reinforce. Another Nova does not quite connect. MaxPax is claiming these fights. And much more efficient. Catching out Liberators, catching out Ghosts. ByuN doesn't have much of a bank to work with. But still a terrifying army with 3-3. Terrifying. There's too much freedom. There's too much freedom. That's just more liberation going to be thrown down, forcing these fights out of MaxPax. Never goes off. But once again, a good connection though. The Novas, they've been popping off. Never connects. MaxPax maintaining the center of the map. Despite that, still losing workers. 16 probes go down. That is brutal damage. Getting 16 workers. Liberator does get picked up. Yeah, the army's still quite close. Quite neck and neck. Soon though, ByuN is going to hit critical mass of Liberators. He's got how many already? 9 Liberators. That's a lot of liberation. There's still no Tempest. As ByuN, he can finally be active on the map. Going for top left. MaxPax coming in from behind. Hoping to catch up the army. Oh. Last MaxPax down to 2 Disruptors, 1 Eye Templar. Maxed out mainly on charge lots. Decent storm. The EMPs are brutal though. Yeah, brutal EMPs. ByuN holds the line. Just out trading his opponent. He has been out trading. Oh, Jesus. Likewise, Liberation has arrived. Nova's going off, no major connection, and he comes in for the flank as well. ByuN, he may have just done it. There's just no splash damage. I mean, what is there? There's no Colossus. I say that. 1 Colossus coming in. Storm coming in as well. Nice connection. Very nice. Zones away the army. Do we have any more storms, though? Zealots are filing in. Still a very tense fight. Another Colossus goes down. These have been expensive losses here for MaxPax. Trying to replace. Oh, but he is oversaturated. Heavily, actually. Now, likewise, ByuN moving in. Takes over the base. And ByuN's had momentum for most of this game at this point. Max actually still pull off a miracle with some of these surrounds, but he's fighting head on. MaxPax, his fringe bases have been left untouched though, so he still has an economy. He can still remax despite losing so many Colossus. Yeah, Colossi go down. GG gets called, and with that, MaxPax has been broken, and ByuN will tab the series 1-1. GG. Very intense back and forth, and honestly, almost non-stop action there. Nothing too major, but we were just, again, MaxPax was just trying to trade, trying to pick up whatever he could. But as we saw, as the Liberator count got higher and higher, his army just became worse and worse. Ideally, once there's critical mass Liberators, you do want to go into Sky Toss, into Tempest production. That is the ideal, but we saw that we never really got there. There was a Stargate towards the end, and I believe like +1 air attack as well, but I was too little too late. The damage had been done at that point, and with that, we're going into game number 3. We have a back and forth, we have a series. We'll see how this story ends. Let's go. See how this story ends. As a game 3 is going to be on Sandworm. Here we go. So just trying to stay alert. Trying my best. It's 1 a.m. here in Australia. 1 a.m. Aye. As we embrace our best of 5. And again, we'll be up later on this morning for Pegasaur Monday as well. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't you worry. So there we go. You can hear our beats. We're loading into game number 3. And we'll see who can take a lead in this best of 5. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, or top right-hand corner of Sandworm, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, besides some gaming, MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And again, ByuN, he was able to persevere, able to outscale MaxPax. Once the Liberator count gets up to a certain point, sticking with a ground army is stubborn more than anything, and it is so difficult to make work. We saw that the Skytoss transition from MaxPax was insanely late, and it never really came into play. Despite the fact that MaxPax was maxed out, the soup does lie. One army was not quite like the other. With the massive amount of Liberators, with about 6 to 9 Liberators that ByuN would have at a time, the ground army of MaxPax would trade very inefficiently to deal with it. Very inefficiently. At times would not even deal with it. So ByuN just outscaled MaxPax over time and did outtrade him and did snowball out of control. MaxPax did have map control and did have most of the bases, that is true, but even then, was not enough. Not enough. But we'll see. We'll see how our players do adjust coming into game number 3. MaxPax has gone for the same build every single game so far. 4 games in a row. What has he gone for? He's gone for a initial Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink into Gases at the Natural, into Forge, into Robotics Bay, into Colossus production before the 3rd base. We've seen that every game so far in tonight's PVTs from MaxPax. We'll see if that trend continues coming into Sandworm. As ByuN does open up economically, going for a Rax Expand into a delayed factory. But really, our eyes are going to be on MaxPax. Are going to be on MaxPax, and there it is, Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener once again. We'll see if he does go for the triple gateways. We'll see if he goes for his gases at his natural before expanding. Likewise, ByuN going for a hidden second Rax. Now, this is a second Rax before Starport. We do expect a third Rax before Starport as well. If we do see a third Rax, this should be a 2-base all-in. or at least the beginning of something more committed like a 2-base all-in. Hallucination Scout comes in and he does confirm that second Rax. So big tell already. This could turn into a 2-1-1, into a starport, or we could see that faster third Rax. So we'll see how committed, how all-in ByuN is going to be. What this build entails is just really early stim, really early investment into the upgrades for the bio army, and of course additional marines as well. For a stronger, earlier push. Because we haven't seen another Rax yet, I'm leaning towards a starport 2-1-1. Hallucination. I mean, you can see that MaxPax is rechecking. Like, he knows how aggressive this can be, and he knows this can turn into an all-in, so he's looking for the third Rax. Or he's looking for the Rax, he's also looking for the starport. And there it is. Third Rax gets thrown down after the Hallucination Scout. So hyper committed. With this build, ByuN, he has the option to pull the boys. He can pull the boys with this to just commit to the all-in. And we'll see if he does. As ByuN throws down that first eBay for +1. This tells us that ByuN is thinking about a later game state with upgrades. Otherwise, could just be thinking getting ready for DTs, for Dark Templar. As the Hallucination Scout does wander in. Once again, does check, does confirm all 3 Raxes. Stim is almost done. Back at home, MaxPax. Yep, same build. Double gas, Forge, Erotics Bay into a delayed expansion. Oh, actually, I believe this Nexus may have been a little bit earlier. But we're working towards those Colossus. But yes, this does look like an earlier Nexus. So MaxPax is going to be slightly greedier this time, which puts even more pressure on ByuN. And again, the question still stands, does he pull the boys with this? Here comes the move out. We got the mass on siege. ByuN, he does send it across the map. And yep, he pulls the boys. As we did mention, seeing the third Rax before starport screams 2-base all-in, and the 2-base all-in is upon us. Either ByuN ends the game, either he kills MaxPax or he dies trying. One way or another, the game is about to end. MaxPax, he doesn't really have much in position. He has 1 shield battery on the way. Uh-oh. Yeah, MaxPax is not ready for this. Colossus is halfway done. He needs more time. Oh my god, massive tank shots going off. Yeah, brutal volleys here on the main army. ByuN breaks out. Does push in, getting to the mineral line. Does get in. Takes down the base. Now this base doesn't matter as much. Remember, this is a 2-base all-in. MaxPax, all he has to do is defend the natural, not defend the third. See him catching some marines. Tanks through siege. Massive volleys here on the immortal. And ByuN, at this point, I think he's done it. MaxPax, he's supply blocked. Now is not the time. He cannot warp in. Yeah, no warp ins, no reinforcements. Tanks, they are within range of the gateway, I should say. Gateway's going down. Can he get on top of the robo though? Can he deny the second Colossus? If he can, that might just be game then and there. Tanks are still slowly pushing forward. They're too far back. It looks like the Colossus is going to spawn in. But will it matter? There we go. Colossus does arrive. Setting up more siege lines. Slow methodical play. Boys are being pulled. Yeah, boys being pulled in. Tank shot's going to be going up on the Colossus. He gets 1, he gets 2, he's done it. Yeah, ByuN, he has done it. He has broken the main army, he has broken the back of MaxPax. MaxPax, he saw everything time and time again with hallucinations, but he did not take it seriously enough. Yeah, he assumed it might just, because he hit so late, he assumed that it might just be a more defensive macro build. Alas, MaxPax big misread. GG gets called, and ByuN will take a 2-1 lead in the series. ByuN is one game away from claiming it all and becoming this week's champion. Whew, GG. GG, well played. And again, MaxPax, he did see the initial second racks. He saw the third racks as well, all before Starport. He did see everything he needed to confirm that it was going to be an all-in. Despite that, MaxPax just being a little bit too greedy there. Alas, he was, of course, focusing on teching, focusing on the next step. He was missing warpins. He did not have any shield battery set up at the third base either. Just far too much greed out of MaxPax. And with that, ByuN will take a lead. And now we're getting ready for our next game. And we'll see if MaxPax can force the ace match or if ByuN will end it here and now. Let's go. Let's go. Combat shield. Now where we're going, we don't need no shields, Pappy. We don't need no shields. They're weighing us down. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming down in the series. We'll see if he can force that ace match. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran leading the series 2-1. It is ByuN. ByuN needs one more game here to claim the series. Again, MaxPax, he did have an alteration last game when it came to his build. If you remember, last game for the first time in today's broadcast, MaxPax, he did go for a faster third Nexus before the Bay and before taking up too hard. So MaxPax, he was actually being greedier than normal. He was being greedier than normal in the last game, so that also didn't help when it came to the initial base defense. He was overwhelmed even then, even harder as a result. But we'll see if MaxPax can bring us back. I think we all believe he can force the ace match, but will he is a better question. I mean, Bappy ByuN is back. Let's go. What do you mean? You know, it was a sign of things to come. ByuN, he was actually this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. True. Did win this week's Tuna Cup. This was a sign that ByuN was in form. You know, CC on location. ByuN able to get it off. Don't forget to stretch. Don't forget to stretch. Sorry, just getting into this. As we have our initial economic opener here at ByuN, going for the racks expand into a later factory. Meanwhile, MaxPax once again Twilight Council opener now. We have finally seen some variation from MaxPax. Every game so far, it has been a 3-gate blink into double gases, into Forge, into Twilight Council, into Colossal Production. Last game, MaxPax, he was greedier. He did delay his gases, did delay his tech in favor of a faster expansion. He was punished for it. He was punished for it by the 2-base all-in of ByuN. So we'll see how MaxPax will adjust coming into El Dorado. El Dorado, of course, is one of the more vetoed maps in the map pool. Is not really seen too often just because of how quirky it can be. Talking about El Dorado, we do have our gold bases. We have our base in the center, base on the right, base on the left-hand side. 3 gold bases in total. So you can expand towards the south side and actually take advantage of those bases. They are available to our players if they wish. The scary thing here is if both players expand towards the south side, then suddenly the rush distance by ground is insanely short. Is going to be quite short. And then aggression is favored, so again, we'll see how our players will approach this. Twilight Council is now done. Gateways are on the way. Oh, do you see what I see? I see a second Rex. So far, this looks like the same build that we just saw last game. This looks like the beginning of a 2-base all-in. Oh boy, cheeky move here by ByuN, very cheeky. Going for that second Rex. And this should work towards a third Rex as well. But we'll see if MaxPax can get a read on what's going on. Checking in that units here still with no sentry, no scout. Not yet. Not setting up. Likewise, yep, there's that third Rex. So just like the last game, we can pull the boys. With the stim timing, the boys, they may be pulled. Uh-oh. MaxPax, he's cutting corners. Similar to the last game, that is a third Nexus. That is a third Nexus before the gases, and a third Nexus before the Colossus, before the Forge, before +1, before the Bay. Okay, so 2 games in a row, MaxPax is being greedier, and 2 games in a row, ByuN is being hyper aggressive. Borderline all in, if not just straight up 2-base all in. Again, this screams 2-base all in, and MaxPax is being greedy. Unfortunately, this time there's no scouting. Right, like last game at least, MaxPax, he was non-stop hallucination scouting with oracles or with phoenixes, with whatever he was hallucinating. Here, none of the sorts. He has avoided any kind of sentry-based opener, which is surprising considering the NG overcharge. So 0 sentries, 0 scouting. MaxPax has no idea what's happening. He saw the initial opener. That's all he's seen. Focus fanning out. Oh, Observer gets caught before the scouts. Nice catch here by ByuN. The Observer didn't see anything. And that could be a bit of a tell here. Charge on the way. Getting into the Forge, getting into +1. I'm going to be favoring towards ByuN here, as this is going to be a very brutal timing. Just holding off, just waiting for those upgrades. Now, at least MaxPax is right outside. So the goal here for MaxPax should be to slow down the all-in. To slow it down, to pick up some Marines, some Marauders, a Medevac maybe, even a tank. And here we go. ByuN is pushing. ByuN, the all-in has arrived. He has stim and combat shields on the way. The boys are being pulled. Again, this is the same build that we saw last game. Same build as the previous game, as game 3. Now seen here in game 4. Except this time, 0 Colossus. This time, there is no Bay, there is no Colossus. Instead, MaxPax going for a massive weapon, or at least trying to go for a weapon of Zealots. Sentries have arrived, going for force fields. I hope at least. Yeah, sentries have revealed. They have revealed. And the sentries, yeah, they will force field this area. They will slow this push down. Tackle is going off. ByuN is making his way towards the ramp. Nice snipe here on the Cyclone. Tanks moving in. That's going to be a lot of charge lots. And he collapses in. He's going for it. He's going for the dive. Ooh, massive volleys. Takes down the Immortal. Walling up with these bunkers. And the Robo is under fire. Again, has to be careful not to overextend. Kite's back. Does kite back. Going for the Robo. Robo does go down. Massive pickup. And I think he's done it. ByuN, he has done it. As MaxPax, he's trying to be patient, trying to build up an army to work with, but more Zealot's going to be going down. The Immortal is exposed. He's down to a handful of Stalkers. He goes for the dive. He blinks in. And ByuN, he breaks the main army. GG gets called, and ByuN with the crazy upset. He will take the series 3-1, taking down MaxPax and becoming this week's WardiTV Monday champion. GG. GG, well played, ByuN. He will claim the series. And a really interesting setup here by MaxPax. Winding it back, I was very interested and very perplexed as to MaxPax's style. It was different tonight. It was very different to what we're used to. I was emphasizing time and time again for the majority of tonight's broadcast, and with some success, to be fair, MaxPax was being very safe. He was being very safe for the majority of the broadcast. That changed in the last 2 games. In the last 2 games, MaxPax was being more greedy. He was delaying his tech, he was delaying his army, delaying his upgrades, delaying things here in favor of a faster expansion, which is not how he started the series. And both times it's happened, it happened to coincide with ByuN all-inning. ByuN, he all-in 2 games in a row, and both games MaxPax was being greedy. Both games, MaxPax, he was cutting corners, he was being greedy, he was also skipping warp pins early on, he wasn't being too assertive with his 3-gate blink. Yeah, it's just a more distinct style here to MaxPax, then he gets punished for it, and ByuN snowballs out of control. GG, well played. ByuN, he does punish some of that greed of MaxPax, and with that is our champion. Congratulations here to ByuN for becoming our champion this week. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is ByuN's first win. I believe this is his first WardiTV Monday championship. Let me double check that though. Let's double check that. Of course, this is a relatively new tournament series, right? There's only been 33 weeks of WardiTV Monday. It's quite a lot actually. And let's double check here. Okay, so checking the history here. In the year of 2025, we have had only 3 players winning. Clem, MaxPax, and Hero. Makes sense. Those are the top 3 players here in these tournaments. They're the best of the best, and they do often win. They have been the only players to win this year. Last year, similarly, Clem, MaxPax, I do see Trap mixed in. And fun fact, ByuN, he has won a WardiTV Monday in the past. Only one. Not this year. Not in 2025. ByuN, he did win back in 2024. Number 1, the very first WardiTV Monday ever made, ever brought together, was taken by ByuN. GG, well played. So this is his first win of 2025 and his second win overall. And it's been a while. Again, the last time he won this was back in September of 2024. It's been months, Pap. It's been months. But GG, well played. Congratulations here to ByuN as he will claim it. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing more of ByuN in the future. Again, this is an upset, but he was able to punish MaxPax's specific openers and specific builds. I mean, the gamble was real, right? Like going for these 2 base all-ins, he was gambling so hard on them. Gambled well though. Did gamble well. GG, well played. With that, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Again, if you enjoyed the broadcast, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week we have more and more WardiTV Monday action, so we do have you covered here on a weekly basis. Likewise, if you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, then you will have some more StarCraft later on tonight. In 47 minutes, we have the Monday Night Weekly number 14. So there is another Open Cup in 45 minutes. Oh, sorry, number 15, I meant to say. Yeah, Monday Night Weekly number 15. That is going to be in just under an hour's time. That is usually casted by Rotterdam and Steadfast and Zombie Grub. Those are the 3 casters that are usually covering the Monday Night Weeklies. We do not cast this. We are usually asleep as I am insanely tired. It is very late here in Australia. I'm going to be live instead in 9 hours. In 9 hours time, we're going to be live here on the channel with the Pegasaur Monday. So back to back, it goes WardiTV Monday. Sorry, I guess technically it starts with Sparkling Tuna Cup, then the next day into WardiTV Monday, into the Monday Night Weekly, into Pegasaur Monday. So we will be there to cover some of the more North American StarCrafts. Of course, Europeans and Koreans alike do typically take part, but we're going to be all over that in 9 hours time. So do tune in if you're interested. If you want some more StarCraft, we got you covered there. As we catch up on our schedule here. Oh, that was last night's raffle. One moment. There we go. So you can see our schedule here. Again, our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow morning with Pegasaur Monday. We have StarCraft Evolution League on Wednesday. We have the Enki Pro Series, Kung Fu Cup. We might adjust some of these broadcasts just because we have, of course, the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit over the weekend, Hatchery Cup as well, Sparkling Tuna Cup. There's a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft over the next week of play. But as you can see, we have some days, some evenings off. Not Saturday, as you can see, midnight is when Hatchery Cup is taking place. That's after KSL. But specifically Tuesday and Wednesday, we have those afternoons off. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit overworked. I'm a little bit fatigued. Usually we've been having half a day off per week. This week, 2 half days off. A day, almost a day off. There, let's go, baby, let's go. So Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. I mean, I say that I'm probably going to be streaming and laddering regardless, as we are getting ready for the Big Rain Bouts show match. So I'm probably going to be laddering regardless, but no tournament broadcasts. I say that there's just so much going on. We just had the GSL qualifiers over the weekend, and we will be casting that most likely next week. As you can see, our schedule is full at the moment. Unless we move some things around, we could try to have a GSL cast maybe on Friday or maybe on Thursday. But at the same time, we do have to catch up on Kung Fu Cup and the Yankee Pro Series as well. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Most likely next week we'll catch up on those qualifiers. We'll catch up. We'll try to find a nice place for them and cover them while we can before GSL, ideally. Otherwise, hope you'll enjoy yourselves. Hope you'll had a great time. Hope you all had a great time here. And again, congratulations to ByuN. And again, our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow morning in 9 hours time. Make sure you're a part of that. Otherwise, if you cannot watch something live and if you want to tune into the VODs, then check us out over on YouTube. Exclamation mark socials in the chat, and you will get a link to our YouTube channel. Again, we do upload on a daily basis. There's plenty of content on YouTube, plenty of VOD action to indulge in. So do check it out. Do support us on YouTube if you wish. Otherwise, you can also support us via Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments. It funds our weeklies and our monthly tournaments on a regular basis. So you can help support us via Patreon if you wish. 100% of the money goes towards the players and towards the scene and towards StarCraft. So it all goes towards the players. One day, though, I think the next goal, not this goal, but the next goal would be for paying admins and casters for casting. So we can get there eventually. For now, though, it all goes towards the prize pool, all goes towards the players. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft action. Otherwise, stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid who is live at the moment. Who is live? I know that Pig is still covering the Pig's Life Festival. Let's have a look here. Who else is streaming? Malzy's playing Dota. I see Tap Tap Brood War. We'll find something. Oh, God damn it. Rainery's in the Rift. Always in the Rift, pappy. Shaking my head. Wardi's playing Battle Aces. We could raid Wardi. Could raid him. Wardi. Because he's going to eventually get into the Monday Night Weekly broadcast. It's like Pig is doing some winners interviews. But overall, wrapping up. So regardless, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye. Bye. Until next time. Ciao. Papi. Ciao. Hasta luego. Till next time.